What's going on, guys? It's Delta Y here, and I got some information about season two, some leaks, maybe true, maybe not. My past video I talked about season one and what I hope to be in season two, and ultimately my disappointment in season one. But let's just get right into it. So season two seems like there's a few gadgets coming in, a few vehicles coming in, some new mechanics, like I previously said, and um, and I think possible operations game mode like we've seen in Battlefield 1. So, um, so let's look at this website here. We have new Battlefield 6 Season 2 map revealed. As we all know, Battlefield has been pushed back to February 17th. Um, the season would have begun January 21st. So as of recording, this is January 30th. So February is Tuesday, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, that's correct. February is right around the corner. So we're going to be seeing hopefully some more information. I'm sorry, not Tuesday, but Sunday. Hopefully see more information. Now there are leaks going around, a leak trailer that was on I believe it's called Bali Bali, which is some type of Chinese I guess TikTok in a way. But in the leaked trailer, NATO forces have control of Hagentel Air Base, and the voiceover warns that they need to take it back or the momentum of the war will go against them. So, that right there, I've seen the leaked trailer, and I honestly think that that right there is reference into operations game mode, maybe a back and forth game mode, and that that scene that we're watching, that clip it that we're watching is actually part of the operations multiplayer, similar as you've seen in Battlefield 1 when there was a voiceover if you lost a sector or won a sector and the map zooms out. I think that is what's going to be happening here. Um, Overall, I think season 2 is going to be based on it's like an homage to Battlefield 1. We have the gas leak, so we have leaks of a new gas mechanic, and actually, I'm gonna show a picture up here, but you can see a soldier wearing a gas mask. We have some green gas behind him, and then also show you I'll show you a snippet of the leaked video. There's a soldier running with a gas mask on, and there's gas popping around him, and the tank behind him. Um, but the trailer focuses on this new map, this new airbase. Um, and it looks like we have NATO and um, it's like we have NATO and Pax Armada fighting over this airbase. Um, and then there's also a new map called Contaminated, which, like I said in my previous video, is based off of the Battlefield 1 map where you're on the mountains and you're kind of fighting along the mountain ridge. And then there's also a bottom ground. So from here on this screenshot, it looks like you're not necessarily fighting alongside mountain range. You're kind of maybe fighting uphill. So possibly it's more elevation based. So one team probably starts from the bottom, one team starts from the top, and then you work your way towards the middle, or maybe like Battlefield 1 where one team is starting from one side of the map and then the other team's on the other side, and then you have a lower elevation battlefield, and then you have a higher elevation battlefield with uh, cannons on it, whatnot. But obviously, in Battlefield 6, we might have different gun emplacements, but facing downwards, so it might be a certain objective with a cannon on it that can shoot down, or mortar or something, similar to Battlefield 1. And then throughout here in this leak, it says that Goman Railroad, a fan favorite from Battlefield 4, was also confirmed to be in the works for future season. So maybe it'll release in season 2, because right now we have two leaked maps: Contaminated, which is that mountain map, and then we have the airbase. So maybe Gulman will release in this season as well. It may not release up front. Again, how Battlefield does it, they releases in phases within a season. So previous season we had 3 phases, I believe, and that was that's how they do it. And then this other website here, we're looking at Notebook Check. It says like League 2 Season 2 cinematics disappointed fans again. So I watched the cinematic and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It got me a little excited of what's to come. But I think the main reason why a lot of people are disappointed and maybe it's because it's not bold enough. It's not enough to bring back people. It may be like a small stepping stone, but it just isn't enough to bring back the sharp decline of players into Battlefield. So here in this website, it says Battlefield 6 enjoyed a strong launch, but has now experienced a sharp decline in players' numbers. While such drops are common within the genre, and it is common, I remember there's always a big spike and then people get bored or something and they leave, and then there's always the dedicated people that play. So that's normal. What my concern is, and my problem is the amount of content that I was used to in the amount of themes that I was used to in the previous Battlefield games that I feel like is lacking in Battlefield 6. So the grounds are there for Battlefield 6. It's just the content may not be there. But the recent delay of Season 2 further, in my opinion, further left fans frustrated. So not only were they mad of the Season 1, now that Season 2 is being delayed, they were even more frustrated. But maybe the delay is worth it, so we'll see about that. The leaked video features a small armored helicopter, similar to the Little Bird, which is basically the Little Bird, and then motorcycles. So I'm gonna put an image here of Battlefield 4 motorcycle, the dirt bikes. I think that's what's going to be based off of, basically. So maybe a quicker alternative to the ATV, more agile, more mobility, um, and maybe we can do put C4s on bikes and see some stuff happen. And then there's also some new weapons uncovered, so like the GRT CPS, the VCR2, and the M121. While Here it says, while the footage has sparked some discussion on Reddit, the content shown does little to shift the community's overall mood. And then here on Reddit, comment actually says, I'll go back to the game for this, but I'm not going to bother paying for a battle pass or skin if this is the output that they can come up with. So like I said in my previous video, I don't like the idea of battle passes and seasons. I just wish they would just release map packs or downloadable content DLC and have people pay for that, because this free stuff, which means that they're moving at their own pace, so they can so they won't lose as much money when they have all these people working on it. So they're probably having a smaller team working at a smaller pace to basically stretch out the budget, the money that they have available for Season 1. And so that's pretty much it for this website. Let me see what else I wanted to talk about here. Okay, so we talked about, what people are upset about, and then here's some more information about Battlefield 2 Season League. So, the dirt bike, I believe Season 2 is going to be Battlefield 1 themed. Supposedly that the gas has some type of hallucination effect if you stay in it too long, so you might see players that aren't there or things that aren't there apparently, and maybe that's supposed to have a play on like PTSD. Of course, the Little Bird, I feel like the Little Bird is coming in. And then again, I said the possible operations game mode. Like I said, I think this is based off Battlefield 1, so with how Seasons 2 leak trailer plays, I strongly believe that that's a snippet of the operations game mode. It may not be cooperations, but it's gonna be very similar. And then we have the drone gun gadget, or maybe apparently like a jammer gun. And I'm gonna put an image here of a jammer gun that's used in the real world, and it might be similar to that. So maybe you can use it to probably going to be assigned to the support class to stop drones, stop missiles, maybe stop the repair drones, and other gadgets that you could probably use it on. I don't know how I feel about it stopping missiles. Maybe you have to lock on to the missile or something, because then I could see that being OP, especially if you're like already sometimes get a little annoying when you have 3 people repairing a ATV IV and you can never kill it. So now we have maybe 2 engineers, and then you have a super on top blocking the missiles. So at that point, you have an unkillable IFV. So unless you kill everyone around, but right now it's not a big problem because I mean, to me, it's fun. It's funny when you have a team, a squad repairing you. You know, that's how it's supposed to go. But if it starts stopping missiles, you know, it just adds on, and eventually it may be a little overkill to where it's just not going to be fun. But maybe if there's a cooldown on the jammer gun, I'm sure there's going to be a cooldown actually, and you have to quickly lock on to the missile and shut it down. It's not like a general area. You have to be facing the missile. I think that would help balance it out. That's what I found on season 2. Pretty quick, pretty small things. We'll see more once mid-February. Hopefully they'll release a trailer and let us see more things and find out what's true, what isn't true. And I also hope that they add a couple of things in season 2. For one, I want them to add back the request order feature. This feature allows not squad leaders to request an order. So if you have an inactive squad leader, it'll prompt them to make an order, and if they fail to make that order, the person requested it basically gets leadership. I feel like they need to add that because you have a lot of people who don't use it, and you can get extra points, and I believe some challenges are based off of following orders. So I think they should add that. Also fixing helicopter spawns. Maybe I don't know if they can fix it on the existing maps, but in the new maps, Battlefield, DICE, EA, please stop putting helicopters within the map boundaries. You know, the moment you take off, you may be sniped, you may be locked on, shot down. Like, it's just not fair. And it doesn't add to the fun of it. You know, occasionally you might have someone cheeky get a good spot, snipe you, but if it's very easy to get to that point, like I'm gonna show a clip here, and I literally took off and I got sniped, and that's so annoying. And it's because the helicopter spawns are just so tight, so close to the battlefield. Please fix that. Um, or at least in the new maps, design them to have jets and helicopters. The maps are way too small. Have the jets spawn further away, or just have the map boundaries further out. You know, right now they're too confided. You could go straight across the map in like 2 seconds, and then you have to quickly turn around. So you're constantly flying over the battlefield, and people lock onto you, shoot you down. So if you're able to fly outside further away where people can't easily lock onto you, give you time to refresh on your flares, and then come back into the battlefield and lay down some fire. That would be great because right now the flying ceiling is okay, but the range, the boundaries of which you can fly before you start being out of bounds, it needs to be increased like by a good bit. Um, and I think that's pretty much what I have here. Quick video, simple things. But again, just to reiterate, season 1 to me was a disappointment. Hopefully season 2 adds some things that enough to get players back. I mean, a few people are excited, but it seems like that the majority is either disappointed because it's not a bold move enough, or disappointed or because it's just not the right time to add those things. A lot of people want more maps, more vehicles, more weapons, fix the base, fix a few issues in the base game, and then pump out content quicker. Um, they don't want more skins, more battle passes, more worthless challenges. They just want things that make them feel like they're progressing in a game, and then well, they can use the gadgets in the game or the vehicles or the guns in the game. You know, I don't really care for skins, and maybe someone does, but I just feel like most times I see people using the regular default skins. I see a couple of times people use the colorful skins or something, but that's my opinion. Hopefully season 2 is great. I'm gonna still be playing it probably for the next year or two, regardless of what kind of content comes out, unless I get so fed up and I drop the game, because I could see that happening. Like by season 3, If it's like lackluster, then I may be like, yeah, I think it's time to put the game down. Unfortunately, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, Tell me what you guys think in the comment. Do you think season two is based off of Battlefield One? You think will it have an operations game mode similar to Battlefield One? Have you seen the trailer? What did you think of the trailer? Just let me know down in the comments. But I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully, we learn more things about season two, or at least they dropped the official trailer. But thank you guys for watching. Take it easy.